Welcome! The Krautrockphaser is a more or less faithful recreation of a 70s phaser, sometimes called the Schulte Phaser and of course Krautrockphaser, hence the name Krautrockphaser. Okay, you're impatient, you want to see it. That's the look of it. And yes, it's that big. This is a gig bag friendly layout here. You have 4 dials that say phasing, oscillator period, feedback and modulation. Phasing and feedback control the strength of the effect. Oscillator period is the speed, and modulation the blend between dry and wet, but is only audible in stereo mode. I'll demo it with guitar, so I completely omit the modulation part. It's just set and forget. On the back side you find some sockets. Of course you have a power in, you need 18 volts here. You have an input, 2 mono outputs, 2 sockets for volume pedals. You can control rate and amount of phasing with a pedal. And you have this switch here that says auto or manual. Auto gives you the sound that you're used to. Rawr, rawr, rawr. The rawr is automatic. And if you imagine, I want to stop here, I just want to hear the wah, you get it. I'll demo it later. Let's start out with feedback, because if you turn it down all the way, you won't hear any effect at all. Phasing tells you how strong the effect is or how big the sweep is. I guess you want it with a guitar. First of all, with little effect. And then the full sweep. Then you have oscillator period. The more you turn it up, the longer the period gets. So it gets slower. This is very fast. And this is sort of slow. And then we have feedback. The more you turn it up, the more pronounced the effect gets. The signal gets fed back into the input, so it goes up that far until it starts screaming because it's self-oscillating. So it ranges from slight effect to very strong effect and noise. And modulation, as I said, makes no sense in this context because it's mono. So here are some examples what you can do with the dials alone. Now for my favorite feature, the usage of volume pedals. If you're using a volume pedal on the phasing determines how far the sweep goes. So if you turn it up like this, your pedal sweep goes from 0 to this point. Well, if you're controlling the rate with a pedal, well, it's sort of fixed between full speed and, well, not all that slow. Of course, you can use both. Here's some example what you can do with the pedal on phasing. And here's what you can do with the speed control. There's even more to it. If you're in manual mode, you can have fixed sounds like you hear now. If you're using a pedal in this mode, it sounds like two different guitars. The other function that is pretty obvious, use it as a wah-wah pedal. And the weirdest thing of all is if the pedal is in feedback mode. So much for the Krautrockphaser by Mode Machines.